My name is Dave Romeo, and I hold people accountable to achieving their dreams. For nearly 2 decades, I have coached business people, entrepreneurs, and salespeople, and showed them how to turn their mistakes into masterpieces. My best customers are people who are dissatisfied with their current level of sales and success and are serious about doing something to improve them. Using proven coaching lessons and strategies, I will show them and you how to be more successful in life and in business. Welcome to Focused on Success with Dave Romeo. Have you ever heard the expression, life is what happens when you're busy making plans? Ask any new entrepreneur what it's like to quit a full-time job and a steady paycheck and go out on your own, and they will tell you it is both simultaneously thrilling and terrifying. Of course, that's to be expected, but what happens when the unexpected creeps in and interferes with your dreams? I want to tell you about a woman now who is the poster child for adversity. When I first met Nancy Seibert, her dream was to buy out the owner of the company she was working for, a small quick print company. She was all ready to go when at the last minute, the owner decided that the business was worth $250,000 more. Rather than sell it to Nancy then, he wanted her to stay as an employee in the company, work for the next 3 years until the business was worth more, and then sell it to her at that time. Naturally, Nancy was crestfallen. But she didn't give up on her dreams. Instead, she went out and started her own business called Advanced Signs and Graphics. But that doesn't mean there weren't further problems coming along. Number one, the company was located inside of another company's building. That meant that there was absolutely no signage for a signage company. It was difficult for customers to find her. The second problem was that the person she wanted to start her business with had a non-compete agreement, which meant he couldn't help her get her business off the ground. For Nancy, it was like running in a 3-legged race and being tied to somebody else who couldn't help you out at all. She was also having trouble finding employees who shared her vision for doing larger installation projects. And if that wasn't enough, she was hit with 2 kinds of cancers just 6 weeks apart. When we come back, I'll introduce you to Nancy Seibert-Tipton and show you how she kept her sanity while she kept her business afloat and battled 2 different kinds of cancer.
Hi, I'm Lou Lies, the owner of Stages Planning Group. At Stages, we help our clients make smart choices about their money so that no matter what happens in the market, the world, or the economy, they have the highest probability of reaching all of their financial goals. We do this using a process called the Financial Roadmap, and then we hold our clients accountable to actually doing the work. Visit us at stagesplanning.com. Stages Planning Group. Planning for every stage.
If it bugs you, it bugs us. Tomlinson Baumberger Lawn Care, Landscape, and Pest Control. Your trusted pest control advisor. Voted among your favorite in pest control. Visit mytombaum.com.
No matter what you're doing in Lancaster County, Mix is the place to grab a bite before or after your next adventure. Swing by after playing some sports at Spooky Nook, catch up with some of your friends, or get out for a date night. Bring the family out for a Sunday lunch or test your trivia skills on Thursday nights. Enjoy any occasion with delicious food, drinks, and the friendliest service around in any of our 3 local pubs. Spend quality time with those special people in your life at Mix All-American Pub.
Hi, I'm Jeff Belomo with Belomo & Associates. People come to our estate planning and elder law firm in all phases of life. We believe in education and teaching a client what they need to know and what to expect before it happens through our free educational workshops. We understand that estate planning is more than documents. It is about relationships. At Belomo & Associates, we build relationships and we educate our clients.
I first met Nancy Cyber-Tipton in 2004, and one thing I knew about her is she had incredible commitment and dedication when she set her mind to a goal. Now, if you've ever started a business, you might think the first year is the toughest, but let me tell you, if you think year 2 is going to be easier, you are in for a rude awakening. When you're first starting out in business, people want to give you some slack because they know how much work you have to do. But if you get into year 2 and you're still struggling, they begin to become impatient and they don't want to wait around for you to get your act together. They may even question if you should be running your own business. It's amazing how many entrepreneurs give up so close to the finish line because they don't realize just how close they are to turning that corner. The first thing Nancy did was to move her business out of its current location. Now she was much more visible. Something else that helped her greatly was to get a presence on a website. Now she was attracting customers from out of the immediate area, especially New York, where she was getting some much larger jobs. Beautiful work alone is not enough. You have to be personable and reliable. People need to know that you're going to meet their deadlines. If you get a department store to put signs in, you've got to meet the deadlines before the owner will decide to give you more of their department stores. But Nancy quickly earned a reputation for delivering on her promise. She also faced some staffing issues. She found out that one of her employees was expressing some political views and offending her customers. She addressed the problem and the employee, and both were gone. In fact, in 1 week's time, she parted ways with both of her original employees, leaving Nancy to carry the full load by herself. Now, while that created extra stress, she used the opportunity to start over with a clean slate of employees. And the first one she brought in was her son, Max. Obviously, he had a vested interest in seeing this business succeed. Nancy saw this opportunity for creating a foundation of reliable help who shared her vision. But she wasn't out of the woods just yet. In 2011, she was diagnosed with uterine cancer just a year after she got married. But things got worse before they got better, and in 2012, she found out that she was also diagnosed with neuroendocrine cancer. When we return, you'll meet Nancy Cyber-Tipton and see how she kept her business afloat while she beat cancer twice.
Hi, I'm Mary Ferguson, owner of ProLook Uniform. I'd like to show you what we have in store for you.
ProLook is one of the best kept secrets in Lancaster County. If you are a chef, a doctor, a nurse, or in public safety, come to ProLook for a consistent professional look. Our embroidery and screen printing services help businesses of all sizes brand themselves.
With a store full of inventory, ProLook has what you're looking for. Let us serve you as you serve others. You are our heroes.
I'm Jack Hostetter from JB Hostetters & Sons Mountjoy, your full-service True Value hardware store, serving the public for 89 years. We are more than just a hardware store. We also have greenhouses, plumbing and electrical, paint, rental, lawn and garden equipment, TV and major appliances. And remember, we just don't sell it, we service it too. Great values with hometown service. Our customers are not just a number. We have forged many long-term relationships spanning 3 generations since 1927.
If it bugs you, it bugs us. Tomlinson Baumberger Lawn Care, Landscape, and Pest Control. Your trusted pest control advisor. Voted among your favorite in pest control. Visit mytombaum.com.
Hi, I'm David with Accounting Services of York, LLC, voted Best in York the past 2 years and also recipient of Angie's List Super Service Award. Small business is our specialty. We offer both S&C Corp, bookkeeping and payroll, in addition to personal and nonprofit tax returns. For more information about us, you may visit our website, asyork.net. And remember, we'll count the beans and you enjoy the coffee.
Nancy Cyber-Tipton from Advanced Signs and Graphics in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to Focused on Success.
Thank you.
Nancy, you're looking so great. I'm so glad to see you here today. When you were going through your cancer scare, can you walk us through those experiences?
Sure. I mean, it was crazy. I had just gotten married and had been single for a long time and found this wonderful guy. And all of a sudden, 8 8 months into being married, and he had only moved back to Pennsylvania about four months earlier. I'm diagnosed with stage 2 uterine cancer.
Wow.
So it was such a bummer because we had our whole life before us, and all of a sudden you hear that you have cancer, and it's scary. And the doctors were making it scary too because they wanted to rush and get everything done fast. So within 2 weeks of being told I had cancer, then I'm rushed into the hospital to have the surgery to take the cancer out.
And you told me that when they took out the uterus, what did they find?
No cancer.
Oh.
So I'm raced into surgery, really scared, trying to run a business, and then I find out I don't have cancer.
No.
So
You would have thought that would have been the best news of your life, except that's not where the cancer story ended, is it?
no, it was 6 weeks later. I was actually shoveling snow. It was in October, and we had gotten that big snowstorm in October. And I spent all this time cleaning up the yard, and then I started getting hip pain. And called my OBGYN thinking maybe this is something from the surgery. I did too much too soon. And they said no, and I was sent for an MRI. And then they said you have a mass in your hip. And one thing led to the other, and I was diagnosed with a neuroendocrine tumor.
My goodness, what a double whammy.
Yeah.
Well, when did you turn the corner, and how are you feeling now?
Actually, I turned the corner after my first round of chemo. Building up to that point and running through all the tests, I was getting extreme pain because the tumor grows on a nerve ending. So every time I moved my leg, I was in extreme pain.
Wow.
So as soon as I got the first round of chemo, I felt relief. So that was wonderful. And it was 18 rounds of chemo and 6 weeks of radiation, and I was cured. So
Well, I'm so relieved that you were cured, but I don't have your frame of reference, and a lot of people watching don't either. How have those experiences changed you, the way you look at things?
the change is huge. You can't go through 2 rounds of cancer and not be affected at all. One, my faith has just grown tremendously, and the only thing you can say when you're told you have stage 2 cancer and then there's no cancer, it's God. So that was an amazing thing to go through. And then if you can say you had a good cancer journey, I had a good cancer journey because I just felt blessed every step of the way, from great doctors, great caregivers, great people in the chemo rooms. At every step I turned, there was someone wonderful to help me through it.
Wow. You know, let's talk about advanced signs and graphics. Now, how did you get the money to be able to get your business off the ground in the first place?
Getting the money, getting a loan at that point wasn't that difficult. It was getting the amount of money that I needed to start the business. Luckily, I had a house, so I could use that as collateral to get the loan. But I could only get a loan that was enough for getting the equipment I needed. So the rest of it, I had to use credit cards and just get stuff when I could. So it was really lean and really tough at first.
A little scary?
Very scary. But, you know, through the whole thing, I was very calm. I remember the day I signed the loan, and my son, who was 16 at the time, he said, "So let me get this straight. If the business fails, we lose the house." And I said, "Yes." And he said, "What's your plan?" And I said, "The plan is we're going to move into my sister's basement." And he knew my sister's basement was really nice because they have a really big house. So he said, "As long as you have a plan, Mom, I'm behind you." And I felt really calm.
And we always say you always want to have at least 5 backup plans, so I'm glad you were thinking ahead. I remember you were telling me some of the stories of your big breaks that you had with a large franchise business from outside of the immediate area. Do you want to go into that? Because it sounds like it was a major turning point for you.
Yeah, it definitely was. I've been blessed by by having a website that works, and I'm one of those people that we've been busy since the day we opened our doors. So I never have time where we're wondering, you know, where the next job is going to come through. We're always getting phone calls, and one of the surprise phone calls 2 years ago was a company out of New York that was looking for a local business to do installs for them. And they represented major chains like Kohl's Department Store, Aldi Food Markets, Trader Joe's, Crocs. So we've been doing work for them. A lot of it is interior sign installs.
Well, that just goes to show how important it is to develop a good reputation for keeping your word and delivering on your promises. When you went into a couple of big areas for your business. One was the vehicle wraps, and another one was the large install projects. Why did you decide to go in those directions, and what kind of feedback have your clients experienced?
Vehicle wraps, they're just great. Anywhere you are, you have your company name, your website, your phone number. So people see you and they find you. It's brand recognition. So to me, it's a no-brainer to have your company name on your vehicle as much as you can, you know, unless you use a lot for personal and you'd rather not. But if you have a company car, you definitely should put your company logo on the vehicle. The wraps just take it to a whole other dimension because you can get really creative with color and pictures and design. So it just takes it up a notch, and it works 24/7. And when the economy was tanking in 08 and 09, that's when I really saw vehicle wraps and vehicle graphics really start increasing because people didn't have the money to do really big signs, but they could put something on their vehicle.
And I know one of the issues you had early on was you wanted to go into the direction for large install projects. Why did you see that vision as being so important for your success?
It was all with the economy. The printing industry was greatly affected by the economy, and that also affected wide format printing. So the margins were getting less and less. But if you're doing the really big sign projects, the lighted signs, the monument signs, dimensional letters, vehicle wraps, they all involve an install. They all involve an area of expertise and a construction background. And it was just a better way to go for my company.
Like most companies, it's always difficult to get employees who buy into the same vision and take the job as seriously as the owner. You had some struggles in those areas. You want to explain what you did about that?
Sure. We had a lot of struggles in the beginning. Two of my employees, they just really wanted to stay inside and run equipment and not go out and do the installs. And when you're a small company, some jobs, it's all hands on deck. Everybody goes out. Everybody's part of the install. And so if you're not part of that vision and you don't want to be a part of it, it becomes a problem. So yeah, at one point I pretty much cleaned house and started over with a totally new staff.
And that turned out to be a very good thing from what I'm seeing.
Absolutely.
When that first deal fell through, I know how disappointed you were. Why didn't you just give up?
Because that's really not me. I hate being told that I can't do something. And so when I'm told I can't do something, I put everything into proving whomever it was wrong. So to give up's not in me. And I knew I wanted to start my own business and went for it. That was crazy too, because at the time I was a single mom. The only collateral was my house, and that wasn't enough to start the business. And I still went for it.
Well, I'm so glad that you did. You know, one of my favorite sayings is, I haven't learned how to arrive. I've just learned how to keep on going. And when I hear that, it always makes me think of you. What does that make you think of when you hear that statement?
You know, it's been who I am, really, for the past 15 years. And I think I got it from being a single mom. You know, I raised my son by myself from the time he was 2. So failure wasn't an option. I had to just keep on going. And so that statement means a lot to me, because you always have to change when you're an entrepreneur and a business owner. Competition's always there. Things are always changing. And with all of my jobs, every job is different. Every job has different install problems that you have to overcome and figure out, all right, what are you going to do with this? Well, what are you going to do with this footing? So you constantly have to grow and change.
Nancy, as we finish up, what advice do you have for other entrepreneurs that might be going through a hard time and still face a life-threatening illness like you did?
Number one, pray, and let as many people around you help you get through it. Also, let your doctors know how important it is that you're running a business, because I found once I got that through to them, they worked around my schedule, which was crazy, because I'd go to work. At lunchtime, I'd go get chemo. Then right after chemo, I'd get radiation, and then I'd go back to work. And they were able to understand that it was important to me to still be working. And so they made every effort to coordinate chemo and radiation at the same time, so I wasn't away from work very often. So definitely communicate that. Look for the blessings in the journey. I was just amazed at how many wonderful people I met along the way that helped me.
Well, Nancy, I'm so happy for you that you're feeling better and that you're a success, because you're somebody that I care about. But I'm even happier that you're here to be such a genuine inspiration to so many other people who you will help and whose lives you will touch. Thanks for sharing your inspirational story with us today.
Sure. Thank you.
Do you have an idea? Looking to optimize your workflow? To attract and retain customers or members and build enduring relationships? With ever-changing new technology, finding your way to the future in business can be daunting. Let us point you in the right direction with superior technical solutions and custom designed to keep you on the cutting edge of your market. Join Skyward Thought for a brighter future.
Looking to get back to your best self after a fall or illness? Call Oakleaf Manor. We partner with some of the area's finest physical, occupational, and speech therapists who perform services on site. Whether staying week to week, a month, or more, our care program is a refreshing, affordable alternative choice for your care plan. Restore, recover, and refresh at Oakleaf Manor. Call Janie Jackson for your free assessment.
Do you own a business? Do you accept credit cards for payment? If so, then you understand the complicated and often expensive world of credit card processing. My name is Rich Horn, and I have helped find millions of dollars in lost profit for hundreds of businesses in Lancaster County, provided better service than they've ever had before, and helped simplify the process of accepting cards for payment. Please contact me for a free comprehensive analysis. I'll help you put profit back in your bottom line.
Finally, I want to introduce you to a very special and inspirational woman. Years ago, I was doing another television show, and on it I was talking about my new book, which had just come out at the time, called Write and Grow Rich: How to Get Published for $300 or Less. About a month after that show aired, I got a call from the host of the show telling me that she had heard from this woman who enjoyed the show and wanted to get my book. I was out of town at the time, and I said, "That's great. Please give me her phone number and I will personally call her back." I spoke with her for a little bit and sent her one of the books. A few months later, I received a handwritten thank you note from her saying she really enjoyed watching the show and reading my book. She also went on to say that her time for getting published was running out. As it turned out, she had written a mystery novel 20 years earlier when she was in her 70s. Now she was worried that she might never see her book in print. I was hoping it might be in digital form, but she was not computer literate. I agreed to edit the book and help her get it published, but I had no idea how much time would be involved with the project. Week, by phone, the two of us worked on chapter after chapter to get her book together. I was glad to see that it was actually pretty well written. And so, months just before her 89th birthday, Nancy Altdorfer of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, is going to be publishing her first novel, The Mystery of Spooky Dunes. If you're interested in getting a copy, just go to the daveromeo.com website. If you've got a dream inside of you, just let Nancy be your inspiration. And remember, it's never too late to be what you might have become. So until next time, I challenge you to dream big, pursue your passions, and stay focused on success.
Is your business in need of coaching? More info at daveromeo.com.